Hey man, so glad to meet you.
You as well.
I'm Stefan. I work my own channel YouTube is Metal Anthology, and I also write for Metal Universe here in Quebec. And I'm so glad to meet you since Atavistia is a band I'm following since the early beginning, and
Hmm.
I remember the first time I heard. One Within the Sun, I was like, okay. And I will say it, and you will like, yeah, everybody says that. But it reminded me, Winter Sun, the debut album. And your voice, the clean, the growls, and the music and some licks, I think, were quite inspired. I don't know if you
Oh,
were a fan.
there's no secret or mystery that that was a little too inspired. But um, as time goes on, you kind of develop your own sound, and if I was to, if I wrote One Within the Sun now without, having those songs written back then, I can guarantee it would be completely different, just because I'm older and I have
Yeah.
more experience and more influences, and yeah.
Yeah, but it's still a great debut album, and
Thank you.
I think the a lot of fans of Winter Sun were kind of disappointed with the Forest Seasons, and then your album was out the same year, so it was like I was like, yeah, that's cool that one new band is sounding the way I wanted Winter Sun to sound. It's not exactly the same anyway. You have your still your own sound, but there's still licks that I'm like, okay, it reminds me Winter Madness, or but not all songs, obviously. And that was my question. My real question was, uh, tell me a little bit of your backstory from, yeah, building this band by yourself, because the first album is done all by yourself and it's produced by you. It's an independent release, and I was like, okay, it's a one-man band in the metal death field. We are used to that in black metal, but not necessarily in metal death.
Yeah.
So, can you tell me all the process you went through to have Within the Sun, and then have some guys with you with the Winter Wake, and then the Cosmic Warfare, and then this new EP that came out like on July 19, that is really different. We will talk a bit about that also for sure. So tell me, I'm shutting my mouth.
Sure. So I, I'm relatively new in the live music business, and I was in another band at the time. It was a metalcore band, and I was always trying to like turn that band into a melodic death metal band, but it didn't click. So I decided to start writing my own stuff, and yeah, obviously I was heavily inspired by Winter Sun at the time. I still am, but I know how to. I think I have my own sound now. So back then, though, I was like so inspired by Winter Sun. Like that's all I could kind of come up with was something close to that genre. And I mean, Winter Sun, they have, well, Yari, the they have their own genre. Like
Yeah.
you can't really consider it melodeath. You can't really consider it folk metal. There's this new genre that's been created, and it's like this epic metal. But epic metal, you have to be very careful with, because if you type in epic metal online, you'll find a lot of like really cheesy power metal bands.
Or summoning.
Oh yeah,
And that's
yeah,
great. I
yeah, for
like
sure.
cheesy. I like cheesy metal. By the way, cheesy power metal. I'm a big Blind Guardian fan, and
That
any
makes one of us. But yeah, and after I didn't have any plans to turn this into a full band. I just wanted to kind of throw it out there and see the response. And then, I saw the response and it was really, really good. And of course, there was the backlash of people thinking I was a Winter Sun copycat. And, I
Yeah.
I actually kind of agree with them now. But, you know, after time goes on, the more you write, the more you develop your own sound. The only thing I can recommend to those who are like kind of stuck in an influence is just keep writing, keep listening to new music, find new bands, and you'll develop 16 influences rather than one. And combining all of those influences into your writing process will, thus have your own sound.
I I have to agree because I was saying that up front, but at the same time, I think up from the winter break already it was really different from the first album, and you were starting to develop your own sound. And I think on Cosmic Warfare, that was one of my top album of the year. I think it was, I listed my top 25 metal records and it was like fourth to or fifth, and it's I'm still banging that album like every week. And I think it's more, yes, you still have the melodic death metal influences, the epic, extreme, majestic thing of Winter Sun, but there's something else. There's the album is called Cosmic Warfare, and I think we hear a lot of that galactic cosmic. Do you know the band Mer Cognitum, a black metal band? It's run by Jacob Bucharski. Mer Cognitum.
I don't think so.
I you gotta listen to that because you are both doing something different, but at the same time you are intertwined. So,
Yeah, that's
uh,
cool.
and I'll just show you. Maybe I'm
Sure.
pronouncing it badly. That's the band. I don't know if the focus can.
Oh,
Fo
I can't really see, but just yeah, drop their music
yeah,
in our chat or something.
the lighting is bad when I. Okay, I thought the focus will change on my phone, but no, unfortunately. But in the end, I will send it in the yes in the chat. And the new EP is also another step in another direction. And I heard you said that it was just songs that were maybe heavier, more brutal. And you have a new bass player that is coming from a technical melodic death metal band, Death Machine. I
Yep.
listened to them. It was pretty good. I think they are disbanded, but at the same time, they were a promising band. Spencer, his name,
Yes.
Butterworth,
Yep.
and he's giving you support on vocal with a big guttural drawling that I really love, by the
Yeah, it comes a little too naturally for him. I don't know how he does it.
way. At first, I thought it was you. I was like, what the hell, man? He was hiding that all this time. And then,
Well, when I first wrote the demos for this EP, I did all of the low growls, but I
oh, you're
just
able to do it.
I can, but they don't sound as natural and guttural as Spencer's. And I thought to myself, pulling this off live is going to be a little too much.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
after Dwayne departed the band, when we looked for a new bassist, we really wanted to hone in on a bassist who had not only incredible bass skills, but vocal skills as well. And Spencer, he's definitely hitting that bar because on our last European tour was the first time that we incorporated a second vocalist into the live shows. So Spencer was doing all the backing vocals, growls, and cleans, and
Oh, he does
it had
cleans as well.
oh yeah, he's pretty good.
Oh,
So
wow.
it was nice to
That's nice.
have more of a live aspect instead of just having a lot of crap come out of backing tracks. So
Yeah, less backing track, more happy I am. But I,
yep,
I I do know that sometimes you need some, and especially with your sound with a lot of orchestration, you can
yeah,
replicate that live. You have to bring a whole orchestra, and the band is not doing as much money to
no,
to
no,
bring
no.
to bring to bring that kind of shit on board. Um, so that aspect, yeah, the orchestral arrangement, there's a lot of work to put in as a one-man band because you're still the only songwriter, I think, on
Yep.
this, and you are also doing, I think, a movie soundtrack music, and
Yeah, if
not
I
not not for movies, but you're creating movie that
yes,
sounds like, yeah, soundtrack for new movies. Maybe we'll hear some of them in the next years. Who knows?
yeah, yeah, we'll get there. It's just I go through um like really big writing bursts, and then doing this interview, this is the first time I've been in my studio in like a week, just
Oh,
because I need to like really decompress after I've been writing a lot. So yeah, my process is kind of bipolar, but works for me.
no, I think it's working because when you think just about training athletes, sometimes you just, yeah, you play hockey, but sometimes just getting out of hockey for a week, for a few days, you come back and then, whoa, you're better because you need a period of rest and for your mind to always think about new riffs, new atmosphere, new songs, new vocal lines. Sometimes it can be overwhelming, I guess,
Yeah.
and just to that's when I'm practicing guitar. Sometimes I'm like, can't nail that shit, and then I don't touch that thing for 3 days. I come back and I can play it, and what the fuck? I didn't practice. But your subconscious is still working on it.
Yeah, exactly. And I can vouch for the hockey thing too. I played for 20 years.
Oh yeah, that's nice.
Yeah.
I still play hockey, but
Yeah, I wish
good,
I could. It's just
good.
too expensive now, so.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. And over in Vancouver, I guess it's even more expensive because everything is like way more expensive in Vancouver.
And the ice sucks here.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I guess in the winter, the
Winter it's
your
fine, but
winter is fine. Okay.
yeah, but playing spring league or in the fall when it's still kind of warm out, the ice is all wet and
Oh yeah.
yeah, good luck making a pass.
Okay, it's thick on the ice.
Oh yeah.
Like sometimes there's too much water on the ice, and you're like, "Oops,
Hmm.
I forgot the puck."
Yep.
Look like an idiot, but it's not your fault.
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, hockey is the best sports in the world. Obviously, we're Canadians.
Highly agree.
Were you there at the Olympics in 2010? I guess you were maybe
Yeah, I strolled through Vancouver. I was like 14, I think.
okay.
And yeah, not really my vibe. I think like the whole thing is kind of a waste of money, but
That yes, a ton of money is
yeah,
wasting there. But at least we won the gold medal with Sidney Crosby.
true. Yeah. That was
So
the
where?
peak sports time, I think, around
Oh yeah, totally. For us,
2009 to 2012. That's when I was most involved with sports. But now it's all music.
yeah, and I support that totally.
Yeah.
But you have to do a little bit of sport or training to keep in shape and keep your mind at ease too.
Yeah.
Um, where you said you came to Vancouver and you were 14 years old. Where were you born? I didn't
I
know. I
was
thought
I
you
was
were born.
born in Vancouver, but then my mother is actually American, so I lived in Salt Lake City, Utah for a few years.
Oh,
And
wow.
then we moved back when I was 7 or 8 years old. And then, yeah, I've grown up here since.
Ah, that's nice. I didn't know you. you spend time in Utah.
Oh
It's
yeah.
a the totally different vibe.
Yeah, quite.
Yes. So, uh, new EP is out. Speak about that EP that is more brutal. We talk a little bit about it, but what's the projection for the next release, the next full release? What the future holds in maybe the next year for Atavistia?
So we have a new full-length album all written, and actually
Okay.
we have like four full lengths written at the moment, but we're going forward with the next one that I personally think is my best material yet, and I am very excited for that. I think I'm more excited for our next release than anything that has or yeah, it's gonna be really cool.
And what's the direction? Because it will not be the same as the EP, I think. It
No.
was just like a side sound of Atavistia,
Yeah.
and I truly liked it. Especially the first two single came out, and I was surprised at first, but still, it's Atavistia, but in other way, it's more brutal. But the last two songs, The Void and the Unattained Creation, are just the best track, I think, personally, on that EP.
Agreed.
All the tracks are great, but for the last two are this is nuts, so
Yeah.
brutal. So your favorite are also the last two?
Yeah, I would say for sure. And yeah, regarding the next album, the direction it's going back to like the epic kind of feel.
Yes.
There's gonna be 5 songs, and they're all roughly
Lengthy.
around 10 minutes long. So it's a it's like the first real concept album that we've done. So it's
Okay.
it's
It's
gonna be a
conceptual.
real yeah a real like listening experience, and you know the typical release format of releasing a single, second single, third single. We're gonna have to figure something out for this because I don't want to release the songs like this as
Yeah,
singles. I'd
it's an
rather have it be
experience.
exactly. So what we have actually talked about doing is making like shortened versions of the songs and then release those as singles and then release the extended version of the songs when the album drops.
I love that idea because
So, yeah.
you got a glimpse of some songs, but at the same time, when you have the album in your hands, you have a different experience, and you're like waiting for that moment, and then, oh, there's something new. Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, so if we do that and do shortened versions for all of the songs, we'll have like the single versions of the songs and then the full album versions all in one. But I think if, if when we release CDs and stuff like that, it'll just be album stuff. I think we might reserve the single versions for online only.
Okay.
Yeah. But this
And
is all conceptual at the moment. So, yeah, there's still a lot of work that needs to be done. Like, we're gonna really go into production of this probably mid to late August, and then, yeah, see where it goes from there. So, a ridiculous amount of music on the horizon. So,
that's so nice because 4 albums worth of material that you have on your hands already, and
all in vastly different directions too. So it's gonna be,
oh, okay,
yeah,
it's like different dossier, different.
yep.
Wow.
And that's kind of something that I want Atavistia to be, is not rehash the same shit over and over and over again. Obviously, not stray too far away either, but I think Inane Ducam, the EP, was like a good example of straying away but still having our core sound.
Totally.
And then, yeah, we have a couple other albums. I have like a really folky album,
Folky.
and then I'm
That's
currently
great.
working on like a 90s black metal kind of sound.
Like the second wave of black metal, or more
Yeah,
in the dissection, more melodic type?
yeah, it's very Emperor Satyricon-esque.
Okay. It's still harsh a lot.
Yeah. So it's, the way my mind works when writing is very schizophrenic. So one moment I'm feeling all goofy and I want to write like, old Ensiferum folk metal, and then the next I'm in a bad mood or something. So I write very Emperor sounding stuff.
That's great. I did talk to you about the 70,000 tons of metal. I asked you, are you up to go there? Well, yeah. Obviously, we'll love to do that. And this year, Emperor are there performing their first 2 albums in full. And I'm like, that will be crazy if Atavistia will be on board and you will have the chance to see those 2 albums as a fan.
Yeah, I mean, I did see Emperor on the boat in 2020, and they played
Oh
a
yeah,
lot of
you were
songs.
there
Yeah,
just before the pandemic.
yeah, yeah. So Winter Sun, Emperor, Devin Townsend.
Oh,
That was the
Devin
best
Townsend.
cruise.
Wow. Devin
Yeah,
is so good. He's from British Columbia as well, so he's a big
yep,
influence of you, I guess.
yeah, big time. Not so much like the songwriting wise, but just clean vocal wise. He's incredible.
Oh, one of the best,
Yeah,
certainly. It's not just the song Kingdom, because we
yeah,
all hear about that song and it's crazy, but he can sing almost everything. And I'm
yep,
wearing a Soulwork t-shirt, and on the 2002 album Natural Born Chaos, Devon was involved
mm,
in the production, and that's one of the reason Bjorn stepped up so much with his vocal from that album and onwards, because he told Bjorn that he has way more capacities that he thought.
yeah,
And it shows, because so we're on that album, the Red Majestic or the Living Infinite he's just on. You think there's like 4 singers on that album, and nope, it's just one guy. And that's
yeah.
incredible. I think you have a really good register and a lot of kind of voice, and I'm
Thank
really
you,
impressed by that, because
thank
when
you.
you can go growling, shrieking, and go like just a clean or another clean that is more raspy,
Mm.
uh, so it's difficult to pull everything off, especially in a live performance while you play guitar. What the
It's
hell?
not easy,
I guess a lot
but
of practice.
I like the challenge.
You seem to be a guy who loves challenges.
Yeah, I mean, if life was easy, then I'd be bored. So I
If
love I
life,
love a good challenge.
I guess if life was easy, you wouldn't be able to pull that stuff out, because it's because of experiences that you have all that inspiration.
Yeah, it's you see a lot of bad music be made by the happiest people, and people that have either not necessarily traumatic experiences in life, but hard times. That's where the best music comes from, in my opinion. So it's like the
Yeah,
long, cold, dark winters of Scandinavia. You wonder why the music is phenomenal
man,
coming out of there in all
Sweden.
genres and not just metal. So,
Yeah, Sweden, Finland, Norway,
yep.
Denmark. We always forget about Denmark, but there's so many great bands from there.
Hmm.
It's crazy. Yeah, and you we talked about David Townsend. What will be your most influential artist, you will say? Influential, not necessarily your favorite.
Mm,
Yachty, for sure, but
yeah, excluding Yachty. Uh, yeah, I would have to say Yachty, Devin Townsend. Um, yeah, it's that's a good question because my influences are just so vast now. I've just been listening to a ridiculous amount of Emperor, Moonsorrow, Satyricon. So I've kind of been exploring blackened folk metal, if you will,
yeah,
especially with Moonsorrow. And our next full-length album, it's very Moonsorrow inspired. So
that's a
that's
good thing.
something to look forward to. Because yeah, Moonsorrow I think are one of my favorites of all time.
I love them
And
too.
yeah,
They love really long progressive songs with all those folk elements,
yeah.
and I hope they will. They did some shows this summer, and I hope they will just release something in the near future.
That'd be nice. I saw them on the cruise as well, and I was just like, this is too good.
Never had the chance, man, and they were here, I think, like 10 years ago, something like that, but I was unable to make it.
Mm,
Yeah, I hope to have the chance in the future to see them for sure.
yeah,
There's not a bad release on their discography, obviously.
not one.
No, it's all very, really good. And if you had to put a dream tour, like you can choose any active band,
Mm,
you have to choose four bands, with Atavistia being the fifth band of the crew, of the bill.
Uh, Winter Sun and Sephirum. Um, uh, Two bands that we really want to tour with soon that I can put on this list are Aether Realm and Wilder Run. So,
Ether,
Aether
which
Realm.
one? Oh, yeah, yeah, the American band. Yeah, they
Yeah,
are really good. Yeah, the album Tear Up is
yeah.
so great, man. The last song, The Moon, the Stars, and something.
Sun, the Moon,
50,
the Stars. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. That 15-minute song, I think it's 15 minutes or 19 minutes.
I think it's
Maybe
19. Yeah.
19, yeah. It's it's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
I really love that song. And what's the last band you said?
Wilder Run. They're also
Oh,
from the
Will Go
States.
Round. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Really progressive as well. They have the 2015 album is what's the name already? Uh, they have the album with all the colors that is really good.
Oh,
2019 Veil
Imagination?
of Illusion, Imagination,
Something,
Ma-
something.
Imagination, I think.
Yeah.
And the other, the Sleeping Giant,
Mm,
is that the name? I'm not sure, but anyway, we know what we are talking about.
yeah.
Memory can forget from time to time.
Yeah. That's me too right now because I'm not really doing anything music, so I actually haven't even been listening to anything. So I need like a full day or 2 days to get back in the swing of remembering band names and their album names and song titles. So I just kind of completely disassociate myself for a little bit until I decide to come back. So
That's nice. Hey, I will play a little game with you.
sure.
I will show you a cover, an album cover, and you say to me if you think it's a banger or a stinker.
Oh shit.
I choose albums that I think you will know, but if you don't know it, it's okay too. Some are well known, some others no. There's 5 of them.
Do you want me
First one.
to? Banger.
Yeah,
Duh.
that's a great one. I have to agree. Okay, so that called Armageddon was, I think, the last great album by Dimmu. What's your favorite album by Dimmu Borgir?
It's hard to say. My mood kind of depicts what I want to hear. Like if I'm, really kind of like I am right now, I'm really inspired by like the mid to late 90s sound of black metal. So
Intro?
yeah, they're early stuff right now for me, but I don't dislike any of their releases. So it all depends on my mood. If I'm in a very like complex orchestrative mode, Atavista and Inane are
Yeah.
I get in the mood. But yeah, it kind of bounces back between like their really old stuff and their brand new stuff. Like the stuff in the middle.
That's my favorite.
Oh yeah.
Like Puritanical, Euphoric Misanthropia, and Entron Darkness Triumphant are my 2 favorite records. But like you, I love all the records, even Aeonian that a lot of people are shitting on it, but I think it's a really good
I
record.
personally really like the direction that they're going into because they're touching upon that epic and orchestrativeness that Winter Sun also does. But Dimmu does it in more of a black metal sense, and I think it's really cool that they're kind of branching away from the whole, Satan kind of thing. Because for me with black metal, like the black metal stuff that I have written, none of it's satanic or anything like that. It's just the sound itself is very dark and whatnot, but the lyrics I think are kind of nerdy.
That's okay too. You don't have to be satanic because it's black metal. Not all black metal is referring to satanism. So
yeah, no, I don't think we'll ever delve down that path either. So that's just I like the sound of black metal. I don't really pay much attention to the lyrics if I'm honest.
That's the same for me. I don't even recall reading lyrics from a black metal band except maybe Dissection, The Storm of the Light Bangs, because I listened to that thing so many times that I had to grab the lyrics just to see what he's saying.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm kind of like that with all. Oh yeah. Banger. I don't dislike it like a lot of people do. I think the songs themselves are incredible and very inspiring to me to tell a full concept story.
Yeah.
So, nothing bad to say about that.
But for you, is it their worst album still, or do you think this one is better than Time or the debut?
I can't say it's their worst. They don't have a worst. It's just
yeah, it's not a word you want to use for them.
Exactly. It's just, it's different than the debut and Time. And
They're all
think
different.
Exactly. Like I can't give it a bad rating compared to the others because it's just different. That's all.
That's cool. That's a good evaluation, I think, and I can't wait for Time 2 because just hearing the clips, I was like, whoa.
Oh yeah, I already got the package. I'm ready.
Yeah, me too.
Good.
I'm so ready. Okay, I'm going in a complete other direction.
Stinker. I don't like Lorna Shore.
No.
No, I just don't.
I wasn't sure.
I really don't like deathcore at all. I think they
are pretty good, but
well, they're like, in my opinion,
I'm not
they're
a fan of deathcore either.
Yeah, they're like the kings of that genre, but for me with deathcore, it's the stupid breakdowns and drops that I think are just ridiculous because some of the songs are incredible, and then I hear the drop or the breakdown, and I turn it off. I can't do it.
But a lot of people are so much waiting for that moment.
I know but
But
it's
I'm
like
not into that.
it's like EDM for metal. They just wait for the big drop. It's just so dumb in my opinion.
Everyone has his taste.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know that one? A
Oh
band
yeah,
called
love it.
Brimir.
Yeah,
That's
banger.
absolutely a banger from Finland. Love them so much. All the
Yeah.
albums are great. And a last one.
Ooh, good question. Um, I do fall more onto banger than stinker, but I did not really like what Children of Bodom were doing after Blood Drunk.
Okay.
It kind of like Blood Drunk was really the last album that I loved. After that, it kind of went into more of like a, I don't know, rock and roll direction that they kind of strayed away from, I think, the sound that they made. And of course their elements were still there, but the songs just didn't catch me like
Yeah,
anything from Blood Drunk and prior.
it's really different. But I suggest you to re-listen that album. I think after A Crudetro, that's the best album they did, and the more reminiscent to the first period, the first four albums. So, but yeah, the first four albums are in another category. It's just
Yeah.
legendary. Uh, to close this thing up, because we have to close this one day. What do you want to say to Atavistia fans that are watching this interview? Just as
Well,
a
just
conclusion.
wholeheartedly support from me and the rest of the guys in Atavistia, and we never expected to be where we are, even though it still feels like it's going slow. But without the people supporting us, we wouldn't be able to do this, and it would be pointless. So we want to, just thank you to everyone who's supported us and come to our shows, especially across Europe, because that's where we want to make our home one day. So
Thanks for your time. Your name is
Mattias
Matthias?
Sippola.
Mattias Sippola.
Yeah.
That's a really cool name, by the way. And
Thank
you're
you.
wearing that statue really nicely.
Oh, thank you. I've just been lazy.
That's cool. So, see you in a near future, I hope, in the tour.
For sure. Till next time.
Cheers, man.
See you later.
Later.